Hello, good morning. Welcome to the A Farmers Media, where we connect, grow, and learn. I am your host, Neoma Nembres, and this is the mid morning show. Thank you for those who are joining us and those who are yet to join us. Please join us on our social media handles on YouTube, TikTok, and Instagram at A Farmers Media. Today, we are honored to have a guest with us whom he will talk with us about the topic that we are yet to dig in, about the transport in relation to cost of food, where we will talk about the challenges from farm to the market in general, about the climate, about the fueling, the taxes, and even the infrastructure in general. And then another thing we will talk about is how the means of transport affect the durability of the crops. Challenges from Mama Mboga, from the farm to the brokers and the consumers, and even the challenges that you as the consumer you are facing. So thank you. Welcome very much, our guest. We would like you to introduce yourself.
Thank you. Certainly speaking with me. Thank you. My name is
You're welcome.
Sally, as you heard.
Mhm.
Really passionate about farmers. But the most important thing is that, sorry, I'm being told to say that again. My name is Noah Nasiali. Very passionate about working with farmers, but most importantly, telling the story of African farmers. I've seen a lot of good stuff that farmers are doing, and I'm glad to be here today.
Thank you. Welcome very much. Before we dig into the topic today, we would like to do as we always do on our daily trends of today. We will be talking about the youth in Kerio Valley, between the Marakwet and the Pokot community, where we would like even you to join us on the discussion. So we've seen that the youth in Kerio Valley, the Marakwet and the Pokot, the East Sub County have launched a youth group organization to mitigate boundary about the robbery and the violence in the region through agriculture and environmental conservation. The youth in Marakwet and Pokot are being advised to at least try and practice crop cultivation, or at least try and do both livestock cultivation and crop cultivation. What do you think about that?
I think it's brilliant. I think I think it has given me a new life today. Yeah. I think it's a brilliant opportunity, and why I think it is brilliant is because these young people have a lot of energy.
Yeah, they do. They do. You have you seen them the way they fight, the violence,
You get somebody
They-
just
and the robbery that is in
Yes.
that area.
yeah, and it's armed banditry, and the biggest challenge is that they have very healthy soils,
Yeah, they do.
and there's opportunity because they already are the market of the produce. So I think that's a good opportunity, and I think other areas should also embrace that.
Yeah.
I saw that in Turkana also. They did
Sure.
that as well, and I think it is a good opportunity to make sure that the youth, by the time it is evening, they're tired.
Yeah, sure.
And they've
They are
done
not
something.
idle.
They're not idle, exactly, because now in the evening they get more energy.
Mhm.
Yes.
And even to add on that, I
Mhm.
think doing both crop cultivation
Yes.
and livestock cultivation
Exactly.
will help their living conditions.
To
I think
improve.
so. Yeah, it will improve
Because they'll have food.
in highly ranging.
Number one, they'll have
ways.
food, so
Yeah.
they will not have anything to fight. No, people fight when they have.
Yeah,
they're
they don't
hungry.
have food, and you cannot eat meat every day. You
Exactly.
cannot slaughter today a cow, tomorrow a goat.
No,
you cannot
can't.
do
You
that.
get tired.
Yeah, you get tired.
Yeah, so I think especially in livestock keeping, because they already have the livestock, so a way of now them using their manure from the livestock
Sure.
in their farms.
They have a very great advantage.
Exactly.
Mhm.
Yes, that's a
Yeah.
very good opportunity.
And
Yes.
apart from that,
Mhm.
I think they still have an advantage when they cultivate crops
Yes.
after harvesting.
Yes.
The what is it called?
The produce.
Yeah, the produce
Yes,
after
yes.
harvesting.
Yes.
Maybe the stalks of the maize they can
Exactly,
give the
the
cows. The
cows.
cows can still graze
Exactly.
from the crops
Exactly.
which you've
And-
already harvested.
Yes, and even now there's a project that we are working on. I think FAO, Food Agriculture Organization, is
Nice.
working on livestock feed commercialization, so they can even grow pasture
Mhm.
for their own animals.
Exactly, which
Yes.
is very awesome.
Exactly.
They will help them. And those youths, they're very idle.
Exactly.
Youths,
Yes.
wake up. At least do something on your doorstep.
Yes.
Go
Yes.
get that a quarter an acre. Do
Yes.
something.
They already have, but the
Yeah,
land
they
is
already have
available.
the land.
Yes,
First,
yes.
those people, they have big land.
Oh,
Yeah, they have
they're
big
huge,
lands.
yeah.
And if they think outside the box and they think that, okay, I can do both livestock and both crops,
it will be fantastic.
yeah, it would be fantastic.
Yes.
Another trend of today is that there is a high demand of food globally, mostly on middle class. Middle class is growing rapidly, and I
Lakini
think
hii middle class ni gani?
middle class inasumbua hapa nje. Yeah, middle class is growing.
Yes.
I don't know how to classify middle class, but you guys, middle class is growing rapidly. And I think it's time for each one of us to get motivated, at least do something about agriculture,
Yes.
about cultivating. Even if you're on rentals, on your corridor, on
Yes.
your
Yes.
you know
Balcony.
yeah, balcony.
Do something.
Do something. Do some
Boga,
bogas.
at least, yes.
Terere.
Do you know food is very expensive?
Really?
And in fact, I was talking to a friend yesterday, and he was telling me that the cost of food has actually tripled. Is that we don't know?
Yes. It
Because
has.
sometimes you buy vegetables, what you've been buying at 50 shillings now to 100 shillings.
Yeah, it is.
And the other things that now come in, things like maize and stuff like that, it's exorbitant, the price. Yeah.
I remember when we were young, most of the neighborhoods, the parents used to plant maybe onions, the onions which
The
you,
bunching onions, yes, yes.
they plant them some vegetables, and maybe we used to see them. Okay, what are you guys doing?
Yes,
but right now is when I'm like, hey, where can I get that just like a piece of land and just plant some onions, some
But
spinach?
have you ever planted any crop?
Yes, I have.
Which?
The onions and the spinach I have
but
tried
where?
on the balcony.
Share pictures.
I share pictures.
Yeah, but it's a very interesting time for us to be able to embrace that.
Yeah.
Which is a good thing. Yeah.
It is a very good thing, which will still reduce the price.
Yes.
Yeah.
And also food wastage.
Mhm.
Yes.
A lot of food wastage. If you get at least some two branches of spinach on your balcony, it is very interesting. Exactly. And some of us, even we have our own compound.
Yes.
What about you just plant something on the side? Even if you won't eat it, someone else will benefit from it.
Yes.
Or maybe a visitor will come and they're like, hey, I have some spinach. Exactly. Can you take some branches?
Yes.
It's very interesting. And apart from that, we are making our environment clean and pretty.
And you're saving on a lot of things.
Yeah.
There's a lot of like for example, when you're doing your garden, you don't have to use the a lot of clean water. Even the water coming from the farm, you can use it.
And apart from that, even if you're at home, the water that you just pour it all over.
Yes, you just pour it in the garden.
From there.
Exactly.
And even you can do the wastage that we use in the kitchen, you can still throw it there as manure.
Exactly.
Like there are very many advantages for us.
And opportunities for you to grow your own food.
A lot.
If you can save 100 shillings every day on vegetables, that's 3,000 shillings a month.
That's a lot.
Exactly.
Where can you get just that 3,000 every day?
Yes.
It's a lot. It's a lot. It's a lot of money. So apart from that, we can now go to our topic of today.
Yes.
Which is very interesting and very broad, by the way. Very broad. Where a lot of us we will learn, and I would like to hear from you guys too. Please chat with us, give us some text, and we will be happy to respond on your questions.
Yes.
So thank you so much again for joining us today. And as we talk about the transport in relation to the cost of food, a lot of people outside here are suffering. You're like, hey, how can I buy 3 branches of spinach at 20 bob?
Exactly.
Or at 30 bob? Why?
Yes.
How? But you don't when you calculate how it has reached to that market, it has a lot of process.
Oh, let me tell you, when it comes to transport, transport is the determining factor of the cost of food.
Yeah, sure.
Whether we like it or not.
Yeah.
And personally, I've been a farmer. This is my 16th year as a farmer.
Wow, nice.
The last 3 years, the cost of food is at exorbitant prices.
Yeah, it has really right.
And we can see the cost of fuel has also doubled.
Sure.
We used to, and see, when it comes to transport, it also means the cost of transporting farm inputs to the farm.
Sure.
So so if you have fertilizer, a place that you would spend probably something like 200 shillings, now you're spending 400 shillings. Somebody might say that is very little money, but if you do it 4 times, that's 1,200 shillings. If you do it 6 times a season, that's we're talking about 2,400 shillings. That's the cost of a fertilizer. So that's cost of one bag of fertilizer that you can use in an acre.
Yes. And if we try at least to balance it up,
yes,
at least even for the consumers, life will be easy. Even for the farmers, life will be easy. So let's start by discussing about the challenges from the farm to the market, just in general.
Where? Emma, one of the things that I've seen, and I mean, I can mention this program, that the campaign that we actually, a pilot campaign that we are running in partnership with UK, Tech Hub and UK Aid, the Affordable Transport and Logistics Service. I have, as I mentioned, I've been a farmer. I have never thought of transport as the hindrance to the market.
Okay.
But when I was called a few months back and I was asked, how much do you use on transport? I was like, I can't remember properly, because sometimes I'm either using my vehicle or I'm going, I'm hiring, but I've never factored it like, oh, that is a challenge. So when we started off, it was a very interesting opportunity for us to learn in terms of how food is being transported. When we were talking to some of the farmers, they're telling us that they use close to 45% of their earnings on transport.
On transport only.
Yes. So you can imagine 45% of 10,000 shillings is 4,500. Yeah. So that one has just gone on transport.
On transport only.
And that means that price has to be put on the selling price for him to make that money back. That means the end user of the produce has to pay much more.
Yes.
Yes. So that's the biggest challenge we've seen. And it cuts across everything. You find that some farmers opt now to just leave the produce on the farm.
Yes, and then they just
go
bad.
Because now what do I do?
And it's just a waste.
Exactly.
Yeah. Yes. So what do you think it's the reason for the hiking price of the transport? The 45%. What is it including the 45%? Talking about the climate, talking about the infrastructures, talking about the taxes on the roads.
Exactly, the cess. In fact, cess is crazy. We'll talk about cess.
Oh my God.
I'll tell you what happens in cess. So when it comes to the high cost of transport, one very big determinant is basically the cost of fuel.
Exactly.
Yes, because you can see that the cost of fuel has doubled over the last probably 3 years. We are now at 173 shillings for petrol.
Every day is just
exactly.
You wake up and look at the news.
Exactly.
Fuel.
14th of the month, you're always wondering, okay, do I buy fuel in bulk?
And you can't. You can't have your own petrol station somewhere.
Yes, and see when you do this, it means that what you have to understand is that the cost of transport is, number one, you're hiring a truck or a pickup. The roads are very bad. So sometimes you even call someone, hey, by the way, can you come? They just tell you, hey,
no, because one thing, when you hire that truck or that pickup,
yes,
you want to make sure that all your crops have fit in that truck.
Exactly.
So one thing, you will overload it.
Exactly.
And then the second thing, to worsen it up, the roads are not good.
And that means that if this guy is not conditioned or has not experience of carrying produce, it means to be damaged.
Yeah, absolutely.
Let me tell you a story.
We are here to listen.
There's a time that we had watermelons in the farm.
Okay.
So these watermelons, I was harvesting them in Kamulu. So I harvested in Kamulu properly, kila kitu. Then all of a sudden, I realized that I need to take to the market. Okay. And then it had rained. From the farm to the market, to the tarmac where one of the markets is 13 kilometers.
Wow.
And it's black cotton soil.
Yes.
In fact, I remember the day that I was going to the farm, because I went to the farm, then stayed there for, I think, 2 days, and then it rained. So I couldn't get out of the farm.
Oh my goodness.
So we had to cross the river, go look for a truck to come. So what happened is, this guy who came eventually, he came all the way, and then all of a sudden what he decided to do is to load. And then he said, I will load full. So I think it was a 3-ton truck. We did like 4 tons. So we left. We're like happy. So we're harvesting bananas, watermelon, some vegetables, some. So tukatoka tukaenda to the market. Do you know we reached like I think 3 or 4 kilometers of the journey? We got stuck in mud. Do you know we had to remove 4 tons of watermelon down for the truck to be lighter, for it to be pulled by a tractor, and then
That's
back.
another cost.
And that was like, now imagine walking with 3 tons of watermelon for like 100
And not counting the waste. Because I know there was a lot of
waste because the guys who were flooding
Uh-huh.
did not know how to take care of
Wow.
watermelon. So they were like, the first ones were like throwing, like.
I think that's a very good experience.
And
But-
all this is because just getting the affordable transport was very hard.
Yes.
You know?
Yeah.
The other week we were talking with some farmers and they were saying that it is so expensive now. Actually, the cost of fuel now is the same cost, is the cost of what we were trying to avoid. Long time we used to be told that there's this V-Power, and you're saying it's expensive. Now we're paying for it. Now, the other thing is this. We have 2 types of transport. So there's the trucks, the more organized kind of trucks, and then there's the I normally call it like informal borders. Give someone a border guy your pili hoho to transport for you. It reaches. I remember the time we got some capsicum from the farm here in Kamulu to take to us to City Park Market. The produce reached there. The guy is calling me, asking me, Noah, is this from your farm, really? I was like, yes. I was like, in fact, nangoja pesa. I was like, I think what you do, either this guy comes back with them, or you come and see for yourself.
Yeah.
Because half of it is damaged.
Because of the border.
Exactly. And it is also expensive.
that's
But you see, at that time, it was more affordable and accessible because pikipiki inapita hata kwa-
Pikipiki inapita
Exactly.
anywhere. Yeah.
So that is
It's another
it's a challenge.
And I think another thing is having unskilled drivers. You see, maybe you have a truck.
Yes.
You have a truck.
Yes.
You've already loaded it.
Yes.
But having that skilled driver who will know, hey,
I'm carrying
I'm
produce.
carrying perishable goods. I'm carrying
Yes.
things that I'm supposed to move very.
But some of our drivers are
Oh my
kubeba
goodness.
jaba.
Hey.
So they're like out.
Hey, they just want to go quickly and
Yes.
get another order and
Exactly. So
move to another-
again, the other
another
thing
thing.
is apart from the cost of fuel, there you mentioned infrastructure. Some of our roads that go to actually farms.
yes.
We look at roads and you're like, oh yeah, it's dusty. But the roads that go to farms are impassable.
Yeah.
There's a
very
time I was
difficult.
going to my farm.
Mhm.
When we reached there, just not far from the farm, we realized that the road has been cut off because of the rains. Do you know we had we for us to go to the next stage, we had to like wait for like what I think like 1.5 hours because we had to make sure because it had just rained. So we had to look for some guys to come put stones so that we push the vehicle. It was really frustrating.
Yeah.
It's really frustrating. And if it's not your own means of transport, these guys even charge you waiting charges. Yes.
Yeah.
Yeah. So the thing of
Very.
they might be skilled in driving, but they're not skilled in carrying.
Yeah, carrying
produce.
what they're supposed to.
Yes.
Yeah. Another thing that you talked about, which I would like to emphasize, is the cess taxis.
Cess
Sorry.
taxes.
Yeah.
Wow.
These are the taxes, okay, which involve the farmer and the government.
Exactly.
I think because these are taxes which you pay when you move from one county to another, and then maybe you're coming from Kajiado.
Well,
You pay assess tax from Kajiado.
Namanga.
Yes, and
Namanga
then from
you pay.
Namanga to coming to Kajiado.
Actually, Kajiado, just before Kajiado town.
Yes, you pay another one.
Isinya, you pay another one.
Mhm.
If you opt to go to Nairobi, you pass through Kiserian,
will
you pay another one. In Ngong, you'll pay another one. When you're entering Nairobi, hapo Karen, you'll pay another one.
Utalipa ingine.
Then you'll meet the sense in Nairobi, where it is in the market,
Yeah.
plus parking charges,
Hey.
plus broker fees. Yeah.
And then counting on offloading again.
But then you can't offload yourself. You cannot even carry your guys to go and
Yeah,
offload.
You can't.
One, because it's also expensive for them to go all the way to the farm.
Yeah, and you get to see that the cess taxes, they
Yes.
carry a lot of percentage
Yes.
on a lot of produce that you get from the market.
Exactly. So actually, what I wanted to mention, just to stress on the issue of the taxes, of the sales charges, we are actually pleading with the county governments
Yeah.
just to ask them, is it possible to reduce this cost?
Yes.
Just exempt farmers. Actually, farmers we've actually paid charges for so many things. We've paid charges for
The
fuel. We've paid taxes in our farm inputs. We've paid labor.
Exactly.
We've paid with the sun because some of the produce is spoiled.
Yes.
Just exempt us from cess, because it is really sad, because number one, you have to pay for transport, and you know how much this tax is. The cess tax is 20 shillings for every net of onions.
Wow.
So if you have 30 nets, you're going to pay how much? 600 shillings for every
net of onion.
Yes. And so it means that if you're going to have 3 stops, that is 600 shillings times 4 stops, that is 2,400 shillings.
Yes.
And you've not started selling.
And that is a lot of money. Okay. That's a
yes.
That's
so if they can exempt us from that, it's a campaign that we are running. We are grateful that Kajiado County has said that they're looking into exempting us for the period of the pilot. And then with Mombasa, they've also said that they will look at probably having a discounted rate for the vehicles. However, some of these things can be made easy if farmers came out and said, could we come in groups? So that they know that if I'm coming from Manga coming to Nairobi, if we are 10 farmers, we don't have to hire a pickup carrying 1 ton each. We can actually bring 10 tons in one truck together.
That is, and it will really help the farmers. I know that.
Yes, because when you're a cooperative, that means you're in an organized group.
Yes.
So you can even get a sticker for that vehicle that when it is passing through the Kanjo guys, the county guys, they actually saw, this girl is exempted.
Yeah,
exactly.
Please chat with us and let us know which challenge really affects you, where you are as a farmer, as a consumer, as the mama mboga, as the broker too. Which is the most challenging part of you when it comes to transport? Is it climate? Is it infrastructure? Is it fueling? Is it finance? And is it taxes? Which even the drivers? Which is your most challenging part when it comes to transport? And before we go for the break, I would like us to discuss about the effects of transport, what affects the durability in crops when it comes to transport. Most importantly, on the storage part, which is very huge, and it really affects a lot of crops. I would like us to discuss that.
The storage.
Yeah.
So the storage is a nightmare. I have another story I'll tell you.
A very dark one.
About watermelon again and storage. So, so this watermelon I harvested. Remember, I harvested watermelon, and we got stuck, and then we managed to maneuver and get to the farm, to the main road. It was 5:30 in the evening, so there was no way I could sell. So we sold a few, but now the ones that remained we could not sell, and because the owner of the truck was going with it. So what I did is that I used to have a farm. I have a farm in Kamulu. So we went to a small town there called Mala. So this town called Mala was at that time it was a really small town. Now it has really grown big. So I hired a room where I said, let me store this watermelon. That was a pole pole.
Okay.
So I knew they're perishable. They're So what I decided to do with my little knowledge is to put sawdust on the floor
and then place the
watermelon, the bananas, and the rest.
Yeah.
So we finished. We managed to sell a few. We were closing the room at around 7. I mean, nobody buys fruits after 7 p.m.
Yeah.
So I went home. So when I went home at around 3 in the morning, the neighbor, now when you had a room, you've got the contact of the neighbor. I'd actually even given him the key in case somebody wants to buy them like the next day in the morning and afungua.
Anamuzia kidogo.
Yes. So this guy calls me around 3 and asks me, "Hey, do you have anybody in the room?" I'm telling him, what do you mean? Well, there's no way we would have locked someone in the room. I want to lock. I'm like, no, check it properly. Check it really properly because I've got I'm hearing some funny noises, in the room.
Okay.
So I told him, now it's 3 o'clock. There's no I'm driving all the way to come and see the watermelon. So I told him, just check, but I don't think we have anyone. So he kept quiet. In the morning, I tell him he had to go somewhere else in the morning. So I reached there and I met him actually in Roy when we were going back. So we go there, we open the room. I'm telling you, we were just seeing the watermelon is bursting.
What?
You see, watermelon is sugar.
Uh-huh.
We have put sawdust, so it has created a very warm environment for it to now.
Yeah.
So they were just bursting and bursting. So I didn't have knowledge that watermelon.
That was the
is a
person
very
who was
good-
provoking you, the neighbor.
So it was bursting at a very high rate. So
Uh-huh.
you just see pink and red and whatever. Okay, what's happening?
What's happening?
So again, the question of storage.
exactly.
How do you store which
Yes,
produce?
Yes. Yes.
Things like vegetables, when you store them today, tomorrow, even if you put them in the fridge, or
Mhm.
it will still look bad.
Yes. Yes.
So that means that you can't sell unless now you're buying for yourself. Things like onions, you also have to have specific storage. So not all storage for fresh produce works well with the rest.
Yes.
You know,
yeah.
tomatoes are stored differently in a cooler environment,
Yeah.
but no water. You know, things like vegetables you harvest today to sell today. You cannot harvest today and sell
Yeah,
tomorrow.
and
If
sell
they look
tomorrow, yes,
they
yes.
start withering.
They need to be sold while they are fresh.
Exactly.
So how about when transporting?
Yes.
Should we have specific tracks, or how should we handle the storage
On
when it
transit.
comes to transport?
So when in transit, I think the best people to actually have that is the guys who sell Jabba.
Oh
They
my
know
God,
that
yeah.
I'm producing, I'm taking it to the market. It has to reach the
And
market
this is
today.
the way, so I have to. Yeah,
And
I
it
have
is
to make
limited,
it.
but anyway, that's on a lighter note. I think we have to have the specific knowledge in terms of when goods are on transit. I've seen so many vehicles, I've had so many farmers calling me, telling me I was taking my produce to the market, then the truck got spoiled,
Okay.
you know, or something happened,
Yeah.
or we've been stopped by cops, and for so long. So I think when transit, you have to first understand what produce do you have.
Mm-hmm.
If it's fresh vegetables, make sure it's an open truck so that air can penetrate.
Yeah. Okay.
And then depending on the timing, the best time to transport produce is at night because it's very cool.
because it's cold.
If we imagine transporting produce this heat.
Wait. And the way nowadays the sun is
Oh, it's coming with its friend.
it's like fire.
The sun is coming with its friend. So again, it's good to understand which kind of produce you're doing.
Yeah.
You have, sorry, and then the timing of the. That's why you find many people transport at night. Unless things like onion, potatoes, what else? Probably bananas. You can transport during the day. However, you need to cover it, but not covering like you know where I come from. Watoto wanaoshwa alafu wanafunikwa na kitambaa.
Yeah.
Now you don't cover like that.
Uh-huh.
You make sure that there's air penetrating in between.
Yeah.
Things like onions, it's good to transport them in nets because it's easier to
sell,
distribute as well.
And even offloading.
Exactly.
Yeah.
Bananas, you sell them in bunches. If need be, you can cut them and pack them in the crates and sell per crate, depending. Things like vegetables are better sold in gunias, in sacks. But however, you need to make sure that whatever is going in the sack today is being sold today because it starts heating. Remember, it's also still releasing, what is it called? Elements that still make it now start decomposing.
Yes.
You see what happens that you've removed it from a living state to processing it for death.
Yeah.
So what happens is that now it starts spoiling, and anything that starts spoiling is now it might be useful elsewhere, but not for consumption.
Okay, to emphasize on that, which crops? Okay, I mostly see a lot of crops being packed on the crates.
Yes.
Which specific crops are being packed on the crates, and which one on the sacks? And what is the difference?
Very interesting. I don't know if you have some of the images that there's a guy who I visited a few days back, and he had the packing tomatoes in wooden crates, and then on top it had
Sorry.
a big box where they're putting tomatoes. Yes, so again, as I mentioned, tomatoes are better sold in packed in crates, for one main reason, because now you reduce the movement of the tomatoes, because they keep on moving, they can start bursting and stuff like that. So that is one of the things that you have to factor in. Bananas are better done that way. Onions, garlic, the onion family, garlic, you better transport them in nets. Even for selling would be much easier. So those are the just basic things that you can be able to look at, and then the market that you're going to.
Oh yeah.
Yes.
Sure.
Yes. So the market that you're selling to as well.
Thank you very much.
Yeah.
That is a very good information, and we are not yet done with the topic. But let's meet after the break, and we will appreciate a lot if you text us, if you chat with us about what have you learned, what are you suffering from? What are the challenges that you're going through when it comes to transport? And let's meet after the break. We will really appreciate that. Thank you very, very much.
Manda.
Haiko sawa.
Yeah, this is stopping.
So hii karibu kilo ngapi?
Almost to an liter. Yeah. Yes, it is stopping.
Wewe jamani mwanahabari ni kama anajua maneno.
Yeah.
What is your name, my friend?
My name, Pius.
Kutoka wapi?
Born Hills. Ule mboni. Wote.
Anatoka Western. Mimi ni mswa Eldoret bro.
Anatoka Western.
Mimi mswa Eldoret, kwa tunaelewana.
This is different size. We have the great one, there's this one, maembe.
Maembe ni ile kubwa. Ile mzuri.
Anakuambia ametoka LD.
LD huko jamaa anajua Eldoret mambo iko.
Yeah. As KTN.
Anakuuliza angalie kwa nini ipi.
Utaangalia tu online. Kama Facebook, Farmers Media. Farmers Media.
Ndio ataangalia.
Friday.
Lakini mnachapa kazi bana. Mimi kama nitakuja huko hata mimi kidogo nikuje nikae.
Melon is a trailing vine in the gourd family. The word melon can refer to either the plant or specifically to the fruit. Watermelon is a type of melon that is sweet and refreshing fruit. Watermelons can either be grown on home gardens for small-scale farmers or large-scale depending on the market demand. You can either transplant or plant watermelon seeds directly. For best performance, plant watermelons in hot, sunny locations with loose, fertile, well-drained soil that is rich in organic matter. It is best to plant watermelons on raised rows and ensure that the soil pH is between 6.0 to 6.8. On average, it takes around 3 months for a watermelon to grow from seed to mature fruit, with smaller varieties having shorter growing times than larger varieties of watermelon. Watermelon growing, if done rationally and on a scalable basis, can be a good source of income.
Hello, my name is Sheila Uchiboju. I'm the Executive Director of the Alliance for Science, and you're watching Farmers Media. Sama Ganom.
Welcome back to the show. We were having a very beautiful and a wonderful topic with us. We've discussed for the past few minutes, and we are very happy to come back to the show with our guests with us, who have shared very many stories, which were very interesting. that was really great examples. At least we are having someone who has experienced what we are talking about. The transport has really hit you in a very bad way.
Let me tell you, there's a day, you got a story. There's a day we carried watermelon like in a just a normal car. Let me tell you, we got a puncture. To lift a car that has watermelon.
Yeah.
It's crazy, So transport is a huge challenge, a very huge challenge. And we'll be sharing some of the data probably as we continue with this campaign.
Yeah. Let's continue talking about the transport. And the next thing that we would like to talk about is, okay, let's just continue first emphasizing about the storage.
Yes.
When it comes to from the farm to the maybe to the brokers, and then the last person who is getting it, the mama mboga.
Yes.
That is okay. From what I always see, you go to the market and find some goods, some crops are not well presentable. You find the nyanya zimebondeka, the mboga zimevunjika zingine, and us as the consumers, we take that mama mboga, unauza mboga yenye si smart. How about talk about that?
The quality of produce to the market is very very interesting, and I can say yes, transport has a very important role to play. But apart from just the transport bit, it's also just the quality, the kind of quality that is there is depending on the market that you're selling to. So the market that you're selling to is has to make sense. The market that you're selling to, you have to ask yourself, who am I selling this to? What grade of tomatoes? If you're selling to mama mbogas and the rest, make sure that the quality of things like tomatoes is hardy. When it is hardy, what it means is that now you can be able to, it can withstand the heat. You see, when you start supplying supermarket, you don't have to be very hardy because the supermarket is cool. So it means that haitaiva haraka, haitaharibika haraka. So that is one thing that you have to factor. When you also look at it, also in terms of the selection, when you're selecting, don't put all the ripe tomatoes in one crate when you're packaging. Make sure you have more of the unripe ones mixing, and then the ones that are not very that are very ripe on top. Just finyane, so that they don't get spoiled.
Okay, thank you very much for that share. I would like to appreciate the ones who are joining us on Facebook. Thank you, Titus. You were saying nice discussion. Ferida tuned in. Thank you very much. Frida, you have a comment that says, the most challenging part when it comes to transport on my side is the cost of transportation and taxes along the road when going to the market. Another thing is the brokers. They come to the farm with the notion that the market is flooded, take our produce at a cheaper price, and get the lion's share. Okay, that's a very another
Frida,
part. Frida, thank you very much for that share. Which takes us deep when it comes to the brokers.
The brokers, we normally have a love-hate relationship with brokers. Why I'm saying that is because the brokers help a certain purpose. They serve a certain purpose, and this particular purpose is to make sure that our produce is sold. However, we on our end do not understand the transport costs. We don't understand some specifics, some logistics. That's why it's called transport and logistics. There is the packaging, there is the loading in the truck, there is the transportation, there is the offloading, then storing for sale. So if you're not very careful with it, sometimes you might even decide, let me hire a truck myself. Then you realize that the driver is not skilled in carrying fresh produce. When you go to the market, this truck has never been seen in that market. So in terms of charges, now you're being charged even more. So Frida, I like the comment by Frida. Frida is one of our very good farmers. Frida, thank you for that. And there's an aspect of it that she's directly involved because Frida does to produce. She does quite a lot. She does capsicum. She does tomatoes as well.
Nice.
But also she's a fish farmer.
Nice.
And the other day she lost close to I think close to 6,000 fingerlings. I think it was 90,000 fingerlings. Yes,
That's a lot.
because of transport. It could not reach the farm early enough. Okay, so Frida has been directly affected, as she's mentioning there. When talk about brokers, brokers have a very interesting way of doing business. So the brokers are the ones who know the transporters. So these transporters are the ones who, in fact, brokers will never share with you the number of the transporter, because them they have to put their margins on top. The broker charges you to come and view your farm, to bring in the truck, and then to carry the truck. So they'll tell you if it's watermelon, if the market price is 45 shillings per kilo, which sometimes is even much more, they'll tell you they're buying at 20 shillings.
Which I get to understand that the brokers even earn a lot more than the farmers and more than the ones in the market.
Yes,
they
definitely.
earn a lot of money because they put their margin on the transport.
Yes.
They tell you to reduce your price as the farmer,
Yes.
and then when they go to the market, they sell it at a higher price.
Exactly.
Hey,
So-
brokers.
but however, they also serve a certain purpose.
yeah.
And this purpose can only be removed if farmers come together.
Yes.
You see, what happens with brokers is that brokers are ahead of the game.
Oh.
They know the demand. They know where the market is. They know, a broker will know like 10 mama mbogas.
Yes.
How many mama mbogas you as a farmer in
You
your
know.
locality know? How many of them
Countable.
know that you are growing tomatoes?
Yeah, accountable.
Exactly.
The market, when it comes to market, the farmers are not very much as
In touch.
the brokers.
But you see, it's because then sometimes we are not doing this particular farming as a business.
Sure.
Because if we're doing it as a business, it means that then we also understand who are we selling this produce to?
Yes.
When are we selling? What is the current market price? So that even if a broker comes to buy, you know that you'll tell him, "Hapana, boss."
Yeah, I can take it by myself.
Yes,
I
then
can,
Mr. Fulani,
yeah.
yes. So that particular aspect, that is what we're pushing and saying, how can farmers come back together? In a long time, we used to have farmer cooperatives, but they were overtaken by events. Now they are there. So brokers would be, yes, I agree with what Frida's actually saying.
Okay. Another thing is about the prices even affect even the consumers themselves. And when I differentiate the prices when it comes to the urban areas and the rural areas, it's very different. Even when you travel, maybe I come from Loitoktok, apparently, and when I go to because nimelelewa mahali kwingi.
Okay, all right, okay.
So that is one of the places that
Yes.
I come from. So when I go home
Yes.
to visit my people, on the road you find people selling tomatoes,
Yes.
onions, and the prices from that place and the prices from Nairobi
Yes.
are very different. They have a very big margin.
I don't know if we have that video of talking to some farmers in Mashuru. So actually, no, there was a farmer that we talked to who was selling vegetables in Loitoktok. And then there's one that the others who are doing tomatoes. Do you know that the cost of transporting tomatoes, a truck, 15-ton truck from Mashuru to Nairobi is 36,000 shillings? Yes. And so there you're being charged fuel, the driver, parking guys, because you guys have to come and park. You have to buy the boxes that you're going to use. You have to hire the crates that are there for you to be able to to transport to the market. Now imagine that is just Mashuru. And what about Loitoktok? What about Rombo? You see the challenges that we're facing now. So those are the specific challenges that I keep on saying, wow, if we can get affordable transport and logistics services, focusing on things like storage, proper storage at farm level, then you'll realize that for example, I'll give you an example, a very good example. Assuming we have 15 tons of tomatoes at the farm. So 15 tons of tomatoes at a cost of probably selling at the farm at around 40 shillings per kilo. We're talking about something like 600,000 shillings. However, for that, then we also need over and above that, we also need something more. If I tell you what you need more, is close to 70,000 shillings. So you can imagine that 70,000 shillings has to be broken down to who? To the farmer. It's added on the farmer.
Exactly.
And remember that 40 shillings you're selling, a broker is going to now put their margin on top. That margin is going to be close to double of that. So instead of having sold this produce at 600,000 shillings, this produce will reach the market at close to 900,000 shillings because 70,000 shillings already on top. There's the waiting charges of the truck. There is the cess charges that you have. So we keep on adding 600,000, we add 70,000. Then we add another. If you continue adding and adding, you realize that that produce will end up being close to 60 shillings a kilo instead of 40. Meaning some people might not afford it. And again, the other thing is that when these brokers come to purchase, they only take premium quality. The other one, they tell you in Fagia. So they take with whatever price. Sometimes now you're so desperate because now you want to sell the premium. But that is now, again, mentioned.
And the brokers not even considering. Farmers have a lot. You have to buy your manure, you have to buy your fertilizer, and
now you're spending a lot of money on fuel because it's double the cost and it's dry. If you water and at least it's cool, that's different. You're watering and it's still dry. In fact, sometimes I reach my farm and ask my guys, have you really watered here? They're like, yes, boss. Tumeweka maji, but the sun is too hot. The sun has come with its brother.
Exactly.
Yes.
And another thing I would like to emphasize on that is, I think it's okay for a lot of farmers. I think they're taking that advantage of selling on the roads.
Yes.
You see, like from when you go to Emali, on your way to Emali or Salama, you'll find a lot of mama mbogas.
Exactly.
Or the farmers themselves.
Yes.
They've taken their produce from the farm. They come and sell to you as you're driving along
Exactly.
at least to buy it. Yes. I think the most important reason they are using that is because at least it will be easy to them when it comes to transport. You see, for them, they just take it from the produce from the farm, which is maybe 1 kilometer away, and then they come to sell to you.
Yes.
And when they calculate it, they find it at least profitable.
Exactly.
When they compare it to the broker.
Let me surprise you. Some of the produce that you see on the roads, I don't want to sound, is now the grade 3 and grade 4. The ones that they've just been thrown away.
Yeah.
So that one is what now comes 100 shillings per kilo, like that. So again, that is still a very expensive way of doing it. Yes.
Yeah. And talking about that, how about the consumers? Do you think the consumers are getting affected when it comes to transport? Do you think, as the consumers, do you think we are getting affected when it comes to transport?
I can say yes. When I say yes, is because the cost of food will become expensive. So why the end user is being affected is basically because the cost, the money, I can say the value of money that they would use to purchase something that is 1 kilo at a certain price has doubled.
Yeah.
So it means that then you have to spend much more on food. Long time, I think we're spending like 30% of any person's earning on food. I think now it's 50%.
Oh.
Yes. Because now if you look at the cost of food in general, it has really increased. And by the fact that it has increased, it means, but you still need it. The thing is this, some things would increase.
Yes.
But you don't need them. Some things increase and you still need them. For example, you might not need to buy fuel. Yeah?
Sure.
Because you can decide, let me cycle.
Yeah.
But so even if the price of fuel has gone up, you can still work around it. Or say instead of having a car, I'll be riding my motorbike. But now what happens to this other guy who, what about food? So it means that, yes, you can avoid eating tomatoes, but you cannot avoid eating onions. I mean, an onion is an onion. You cannot avoid. However, going back to the question that you mentioned about storage and quality, we have to sensitize farmers. We have to tell farmers that you have to agree. For example, you can have communal coolers. We used to have, long time when we were growing, we used to have the charcoal coolers in farms. But again, now if you put charcoal there, they say we are climate, we are cutting trees to put. However, we can still use a purpose for it. There's some trees that have been cut, you can do charcoal coolers. If you are in a cooperative, you can opt to get coolers, like the specific coolers where you can do that. But if we solve the transport bit, then the issue of storage will not occur. Because what happens is that because as a producer, you don't produce to sell, to store. You produce to sell. Yes.
Another thing, do you think it's important for the transport to be at least do you think we should have various ways of transportation? Let's not focus, let farmers not focus only on the roads. Do you think it's important for railways to be constructed? Do you think it's important for many roads to be constructed, at least to ease in the transportation of goods?
Yes, I can tell for sure, yes. We have to improve the infrastructure that is going to farms, because the moment that infrastructure, it means that there's the so-called saying that bring food to the table will be a reality. But you find that a while back, a few weeks back, we saw farmers in Nyahururu were saying that the roads are so bad that they cannot get transporters to come and collect. It means that then the cost of food is double the price automatically, because if somebody cannot come, the one who comes, you will have to pay the amount of money that you have to pay. Yes.
Thank you very much for that. Thank you very much for that, and thank you for our viewers too. We are really appreciating for your comments, and if in case you have any question, kindly ask. Our guest is here. He will really appreciate to answer them, and even us, we will really appreciate for your cooperation with us. Ask any question if you have it, and we are having a very interesting thing that we want our guests to explain for us about the ATLS. And I think it's very huge, and we would like you to break for us about it after the break. We are going for a short break, and when we come back, please stay tuned, because you won't afford to miss this.
Yes,
it's a very interesting. Or would you like to at least introduce us to it?
The ATLS?
Yeah.
Yes, so the ATLS, which we can do much more after the break, the Affordable Transport and Logistics Service. It's a campaign. It's a pilot campaign that we are actually running in support. Actually, it's been funded by the UK Tech Hub, and UK Aid being the mother sponsor. It's basically to analyze what are the challenges farmers are facing when it comes to transport and logistics. And the main campaign is actually, how do we stop food waste? Because a lot of food is being wasted on the farms. A lot of food is wasted, being wasted. How can we go around this? So that is a campaign which you can talk much more after the break.
Nice, good. Thank you very much for joining us. Let's meet after the break.
Okay.
Action.
All right. Sasa hii ni grade 1 na sasa hii ndio inaendaga kwa market. Tukitoka kwa grade 1 tunaendaga kwa ile nyanya nyembaba. Hii unaona hapa iendagi sokoni. Sasa hii ndio tunauzaga kwenye local market, na ile watu wanakujaga shambani tunawauzagia hii nyembamba. Juu hii ikienda na sokoni haiendagi. Sasa hii ndio tunauzaga hapa kwenye local market.
So mnauza kwa kilo ni?
Hizi tunauzaga kwa jumla. Tuweza ukisema uko na shilingi 5 tunakuuzia kama ni 10 au 20 kulingana na vile unataka.
So kwa grading mnaangalia nini kufanya grading?
For the grading tunaangalia quantity, quality. Hii ni quality and this one is quantity. Sasa hii ndio sasa inaendaga na Nairobi juu wanakuwa wakiprefer quality. And hii quantity ndio sasa inakuwa mabakio hapa shambani.
How do you preserve the tomatoes ndio zisiharibike? Kama hizi zenye tunaangalia ziliharvestiwa lini na mna harvest aje na mnazistore aje ndio zisiharibike?
Okay, now wakati natoka shambani tunaiweka kwa mabox vizuri, na ile box sasa itatoa hewa. Sasa tukikuja kwa hapa tunaiweka vizuri ndani na tunafunikia, halafu tunafunga vizuri. Inaenda ikiwa kitu mzuri. Na sasa vile tunaifanyaga wakati wa kuweka kwa packaging, tunaiwekaga vizuri ambaye isifinywa na ingine. Inaendaga Inaendaga sasa, wakati ya kuweka ingine tunaweka tukiwacha space kidogo ndio iende ikiwa sawa sawa. Haya, ikifika pale na inatolewa mzuri vile haitakuwa ikifinywa na inaenda kwa customer ikiwa kitu mzuri.
So wakati mnazipakia mnaanzanga na nyanya gani hadi kuanzia chini hadi juu, mnazipaka aje? Zile zenye ziko juu chini.
Sasa wakati tunafanya packaging tunaanzaka na hizi green. Hizi ndio inakuaga chini. Alafu tunakuja tunaweka hizi nyekundu juu hizi haiwezi finyika. Hii ndio tunakuwa tukitop na hii ndio inakuaga bottom.
Bottom up.
Yes.
Tunaona hii packaging yenu inaitwa kakon. Tuna any idea zake kwa nini mnaiweka inakuja hivi na si box?
Okay, sawa. Sasa ile kitu tunafanyaga tuiweke hivyo ndio sasa iwe inabeba kitu mzuri na inabeba ile kilo inafaa. Tuseme this one is around 180 kg. Na ndio unaona tukiweka hapo hata kama vile inapanga na wale mama yada ikiwa inajaa 180. Yeah.
So twende pale tunaona ndio wanajaribu kufunga.
Wapi?
Hapa kwa udada.
Pale.
Haya. Okay. Sawa. Sasa huyu kijana ndio mwenye kufunga na ndio sasa unaona anapanga hapa. Na huyu naye mama ndiye anafanyaga shorting out kuanzia chini mpaka juu. Sasa hii ni ya topping na ile sasa beach kama hii ndio sasa iko chini. Vile inabebwa hivi inaenda ikiwa kitu mzuri mpaka Nairobi. Hakuna vile inafanyaga kubonyea nini na nini na kuaga sawa.
Soko mnapeleka wapi?
Tunapelekaga Mudhurwa.
Peke yake?
Tunapelekaga Mudhurwa soko yetu.
Tunapeleka mara ngapi kwa wiki?
Tunapelekaga daily. Juu tuko na mashamba mingi. Sasa hii kienda, sasa kesho kuna ingine tutatoa. Sasa hii kazi yake imeisha, sasa ni kufunga. Sasa hii ni ready kuuzia watu, juu kazi yake yote imeisha. Sasa inangojea tu kuwekwa kwa gari tujaribe mpaka Nairobi.
So mnadeal aje na hii issue ya mabroka ku exploit wakulima? Mtu anaweza ona venye mmepackage hivi aseme huyu broker anatengeneza pesa nyingi sana.
Haya, sawa. Sasa ile kitu iko hata wakikuja hapa tunawajuaga. Kama ni rube hii tunawaambia ni rube. Na ile kitu tunawafanyaga ndio wasiturarie, tunajaribu kuwafanya unajua wale ni watu wajaja sana. Kama hii gari tunasikizana inabeba rube 70. Kwa hivyo kama ni 70. Kwa hivyo hata akijaribu kufanya namna gani haitabeba zaidi. Juu ile kitu ya kwanza nilimwambia hii gari lazima jaze 70. Sasa ile kufanya namna gani haitabeba zaidi. Juu ile kitu ya kwanza nilimwambia hii gari lazima jaze 70. Sasa ile
Thank you very much for our viewers. Welcome to the show again. We're still discussing about the transport, how transport affects the crops, how transport affects the farmers, how transport affects the brokers and the consumers and everyone about when it comes to farming and crops. So before the break, our guests have introduced something which is very important about the ATLS, which personally I would love to know more about it, because I think it will solve a lot when it comes to transport, the challenges that the farmers are facing, the challenges that the brokers and the mama mboga is facing outside here. The ATLS will really solve it, and we were really eager to hear from
What
you.
it is.
Yeah, about
Fantastic. Thank you very much, Nema, for that.
welcome.
ATLS is basically stands for Affordable Transport and Logistics Service, as I said before the break. It is a pilot campaign that we are running in partnership with the UK Tech Hub and UK Aid. It's basically a pilot research-based. It's actually a data-based research in terms of how much are farmers using on transport. The main goal is not just transport, but to stop food waste. And this campaign, how it started is that we got into like some friends came together, and we had one of our friend who is called Stephen. And what we did is that he mentioned to us that in Marsabit there's no food. So we came together, contributed some money, and then we delivered food. You know, we went to donate some food to Marsabit, a place called Loyangalani, and some other areas. But what happened is that the cost of transport was too high. So as we were doing this, we were also buying some produce from different farmers in Meru. Some from Kajiado, we got some from Meru on the way to Loyangalani in Marsabit. But as we were doing this, when we came back, we realized that there was a missing link, and the missing link was basically the cost of transport. Because just that journey on its own, we spent close to 106,000 shillings, for a 2-day trip. That is without the fuel. And when we came back, we said, no, we cannot do that again. So how do we go around it? That's when we had a discussion as a farmers. We had a discussion with the UK Tech Hub to just think through how can we solve such a problem, but not even just the solving bit, but what is the root of this problem? And hence the reason why we kicked it off last year. We've done a lot of data, a lot of research, getting to understand using some of farmers who have the experience themselves in how do they transport produce to market. So we're looking at different angles. We're looking at the transport itself. We're looking at the logistics bit. We're looking at storage, things like storage. We're looking at other aspects of the pricing model that farmers are using, the importance of farmers coming together in cooperatives, the type of transport that farmers are using, how are they accessing that transport on its own. And that we realize that now we are seeing a lot of information coming out, like we've mentioned earlier. The sales taxes, the sales charges, it's exorbitant. We've just talked about sales. We've not talked about a truck of fresh produce packed somewhere. It has to pay for packing.
Yeah.
Yes.
Exactly.
Yes.
Yeah. Mm-hmm.
So that is that in a nutshell. For those who want to be part of this, we will share the link, I think, in the comment section. In terms of let us know all this. The counties that we are focusing so much are 3 main counties as the end market. That is Mombasa, Nairobi, and Kisumu, because these are the bigger markets. And for the produce itself, if you're within Nairobi Metropolitan, you can be able to see. So the areas that we're focusing so much is Kajiado, Machakos, Makueni, and Kibwezi on the way to Mombasa because of carrying the produce all the way. The other county is Kisumu, and Kisumu is focusing on Homa Bay, Siaya, Kakamega, the neighboring counties. We are still getting to understand what kind of produce can we be able to match so that we can also bring Kisii into the campaigns.
Okay, a quick question on what you've talked about. So what are your plans on reaching to the person who is in the interior about the AFLS?
ATLS, good. Yes.
ATLS.
Yes.
Okay, sorry.
So I think that's a good question. We have talked to quite a number of farmers. We are targeting 300 farmers for now for the campaign. We've reached close to 150.
Nice.
Yes, and some of them we've not enlisted them for some reasons because we're also looking at the different crops. So we just don't want all tomato farmers.
Yeah.
We want a good mix. So for those ones, we are actually doing last mile. We're doing last mile research. We're also going out there. But most of the farmers that have actually signed up are the ones who are members of Africa Farmers Club. For one main reason, because all the information is pumped there. And those ones who are deep in we call it Mashinani. We are using Chiefs Barazas. For example, in Athek, we've done that. In Homa Bay, we've done one Chief Baraza. In Kakamega, we've done one in a place called Bomias. Just to sensitize farmers in terms of this is the produce you have. There are markets that are already available. And you know, Neema, when you talk about market availability, market is there. The mama mboga you see every day does not miss tomatoes.
Yeah, exactly.
And she has never closed saying that the leather nyanya mingi is exactly. So that's in a nutshell what the ATLS is about.
Yeah. Another question. So how quick do you think farmers will access that? Or how angry do you think farmers are out here to take that information?
Yes, farmers are very hungry for this information. However, what I keep on suggesting and advising farmers, form smaller groups. You see, when you form a group, it means that a transporter is not only coming to pick from you.
A
transporter can be able to mix. You see, the whole idea of affordable transport is the logistics bit. In that, if there are 20 farmers doing tomatoes, as I said earlier, and they're harvesting 500 kilos each or 1,000 kilos each, if they harvest together, that is 20 tons. It is much cheaper to get a 20-ton truck than to hire 20 pickups.
Yes, sure.
Okay, so so those are the things that we're looking at. If farmers can be able to come together as cooperatives, it's a game changer.
Sure. Yes. That's very, very awesome. Do you have anything else maybe you would like to inform any other person who would like to know more about the ATLS, and then maybe how can they join you guys on the what you say the club? How can they join?
Oh, interesting.
Yeah.
Okay, good. Yeah. So for you to be able to be part of this, there's a form that will be sent. I think in the comment section, you can be able to share. Fill the form. Someone from our team will reach out to you. If you would like to participate again in that particular project, you can also follow us and then just comment. If you want to join the Africa Farmers Club, exactly on Facebook, just go click there, answer the questions there. Why would you like to join the group? And then someone will also approve the same. And then now once you get that, there's a lot of information that is being shared there.
Yeah, and even our viewers or anyone who will watch this later, you can leave any question with us about the ATLS. We will answer it immediately. We will get back to you and give you an answer on that, because we would like each one of you to be part of this. We would like to bring change, to be different when it comes to transport, at least to save someone, to save something, and to save that coin that everybody wakes up and go to get it. So thank you very much. This was a very wonderful show. I'm very happy to be your host, Neema Nembres, and our guest, Noah. Thank you very much for joining us. We are really honored to have you today.
Thank you.
I hope you've really enjoyed it.
Yes, I enjoyed sharing information. That's my default.
Thank you. Yeah. Thank you very much. Let's meet for tomorrow, where we will have more shows. Join us again on our social media handles on Twitter, Facebook, and Instagram at A Farmers Media. Thank you very much.
Thanks.